Craig, Whispering Storyteller here, and I hope you are well. Well, here we are. It is, just checking the date, it is Sunday the 28th of July. So we've reached the very, very end of July. Can you believe it? What a busy month it has been indeed. So, well, first of all, it's absolutely beautiful here. The sun is bursting out the sky. The whole place is just so warm and hot, and everybody is outside today. Well, apart from me doing this, of course. But I do hope you're well, and it's really nice of you to join me for this ramble. So we are going to just have a little chat all about the month of July itself. Now, the last time we spoke, I think you may have saw some kind of indication of how I've been faring in July. Because I did do a post a few weeks ago in which we looked at the Relive Life. So I won't go into too much detail, but let's have a look to see how everything went. So first of all, at the very start of this month, we had a general election here in the UK, which means that we chose who was going to be our Prime Minister. And we had Rishi Sunak versus Keir Starmer. And it was always a case that Keir Starmer was going to win. It was always, it was never in anybody's doubt that this would happen. Am I happy about the result? Well, I think it just had to happen, but see, the UK's got quite a few issues at the moment, very complex issues, economical issues, and I'm not quite sure we're going to resolve them that quick. It might take a few more years or so to really get to improve things, but yeah, I'm not going to go on a political rant, not on this channel. It's certainly not the right platform for it. So, in the US, what is going on in the US at the moment, and France has recently had an election as well. So, yeah, it's very, very dramatic global arena at the moment. And in the US, that whole thing with Donald Trump, you know, the bullet, what went on there? Wow, it's just, you couldn't write it here. And to think that Biden is now out of the race and Harris is now in, what is going to happen? I've got no idea, but like I said, we'll not do a political rant on this channel at all. But I just had to mention that had happened over the course of the last 4 weeks or so. So what else happened? So on my personal level, I recorded the song that I wrote. I've probably banged on about it so many times. So I wrote a song called Let's Raise a Glass, which is a Christmas, sentimental Christmas song all about remembering the people in your family or friendship circle that are no longer there. So it's a very sentimental, soft song, if you like. So I managed to get some support from a music producer, which is a guy named Steve Coates, and he has a company called Red Tape Music, and we hooked up on the 3rd of July. It was just before the general election, and we actually went in. So when I went into his room, I had just created a demo, and that was it. Just a demo with my guitar and my voice and GarageBand, which I used just to put the backing together. And by the end of the day, we had actually cut a demo. Can you believe that? How quick it came about. And he had the most amazing room. So he had guitars and mandolins all lined across his studio, and he had this huge mixing desk and a piano keyboard. It was just a kind of a treasure trove of recording materials. He even had this really cool reel-to-reel, which people would have used back in the days of analog. So it was amazing. I had a wonderful experience putting the song together, and I sang all my backup vocals as well. So when I went in, we decided to keep the key quite level, so I had some headroom to do my harmonies, because unfortunately I don't have any other singers in my circle at the moment. I did in the past, but not so much now, and it was super nice. So within 48 hours, say, I had a whole 2 mixes that he produced, a rough mix down, he called it. So I had 2 versions to listen to, just to give my opinions. And yeah, great, I loved it. I absolutely did love it. A few tweaks that I would do. But what we're going to do in August, is to reconvene, take some of my changes that I want, and then we're going to incorporate that into a final mix. And that's going to be the finished product, and I'm so excited to do it because I love music so much. It's like I absolutely love music. Amazing experience as well. So watch out for Let's Raise a Glass. The next question I need to answer is, what am I going to do with the finished song? Now that is a really good, valid question, and I've decided I would love to see if anybody else would pick it up. I could even open up a Spotify channel for my music, and the thing is, with me, I was really heavily into music about 20 years ago. I was in a band. We were writing our own material. I was writing my own material, and I produced an album myself with another person, another musician. So maybe I'll just put that on Spotify, just put it out there, because if I've created it, it might as well be something that people can hear if they wanted to do so. But yeah, one thing is for sure, and that is I absolutely love recording and writing songs, and it's just an amazing part of a creative outlet, if you like, and I'm so grateful for it. So I also, just on the night of the general election, I went to the local pub and my neighbour was there, and our local pub is the most amazingly warm, friendly, everybody knows everybody kind of place, and he asked me if I wanted to go to Alton Towers. And I know I covered this in the last video I did a few weeks ago, so I ended up going to Alton Towers really spontaneously, and jumped in the car and off we went, and we actually were down there within 3-4 hours, and I went on all of the roller coasters, all of the big scary rides, and I had the most amazing, fantastic time. I've got a bit of a penchant for fair rides and theme parks. I love to do Florida every now and again if I get the chance. I like to leave it till there's been a few updates. I haven't been since 2019, and I can't wait to go back and see, Mario World and the Dark Universe. That's really exciting for me. So yeah, Alton Towers came about at the very, very last minute, and it's so nice to do something really spontaneous spontaneous, you know, where you just make a snap decision and go with it. It's great. Do you ever do anything like that? Have you, or are you a planner? Somebody who's got to have that forward planning aspect with everything written down, what time you're going and what date you're going. But sometimes I find it's nice to have that spontaneous reaction to something. But then that takes me to the Relay for Life, which was the following weekend. Now that was the day that it rained non-stop, and that is the thing that I'd been raising money for cancer research. I've probably banged on about it quite a few times on this channel, and so you're aware of it. And I know I did post a video a few weeks ago saying how proud I was and how happy I was that I had taken part in something which was so fantastic. So just to recap on that, it was a horrendous day weather-wise. It never stopped raining for 1 minute. The rain was coming down with a really heavy wind. It seemed to penetrate every place on your body. You felt it in your bones, you felt it in your shoes. So we were walking around in submerged water, and I often found that it was a bit like having trench foot, because you're walking around in submerged water, feet wet constantly for a whole 15 hours. It was absolutely brutal, but we got through it. The sense of camaraderie, the sense of achievement was off the scale. Now, as I said in the video, I didn't stay all night because I decided I needed to go to bed because of my working week. It would have had a big impact on my working week. So I decided that I would go home about midnight and return early the next morning, which I did. So the idea was that the baton was on the track the whole time, but I did do 51, almost 52,000 steps. And when I got back the next morning, I took the baton off the team and I continued on until the very end. And we had this really nice emotional sort of climax to the event, where we announced the amount that we'd raised, and we also gave thanks to some of the people who had really engaged with the community and raised so much money. It was a fantastic, humbling event, so I'm so grateful for that. So, and that night, England was playing with Spain in the Euro finals. You remember when I mentioned that in the last video? Well, we lost 2-1. We lost, and that was on the 14th of July. So that whole England mania that we had, there was flags everywhere. You know, the pubs were full of flags. Everybody was on such a high despite really bad weather. And it was amazing, you know. It was, again, it was the whole community coming together for something really positive. The England were on a winning streak. We were almost unstoppable. But unfortunately, when we hit the final on that night, our dreams faded, unfortunately. And it wasn't coming home. Now, if you're from England, you know exactly what I mean by this, and you might agree. But we've got this habit of it's coming home every time we get somewhere in the World Cup or with one of these championships or these Euros. It's always the wheel out this song, England, football is coming home. And I often wonder, that song is just so overplayed. I almost feel like it's a bit of a jinx to our progress. But we wheel it out every single time. and it's never coming home every time that song is wheeled out. What do you think? But again, we did amazingly well to get as far as we did, but we didn't win. Never mind, never mind. So, moving on, the other thing that's been happening this month was I decided to look at my YouTube channel. So I've got this particular channel, and I've got Wookie, which is my movie review channel, which is linked on here. Anyone who's not visited my Wookie channel, check it out. You might like it. It's a little bit more boisterous and loud compared to this. I don't whisper at all, but it's just a channel to talk movies, and something which I'm really passionate about is movies and music. Now, I haven't explored the musical side of things very much at all, but I do love movies, and I was really running with this channel last year, but I stopped. It came to a bit of a standstill around February this year. Now, the reason I came to a standstill was that I put a poll out on the channel and I asked what people would like me to cover, what movies, and we'd singled it down to 2 movies which got a phenomenal sort of reaction, thumbs up. But when I spent so long doing the videos and posted them, unfortunately I didn't get the views that I thought I might get, and I maybe felt a little bit discouraged, and I've just kind of not neglected it, but I've just took a step back to think, how can I make some content which doesn't take as long, so it's not as flashy, not as fast. It's something that doesn't require, a great deal of effort in that way, and that just means that I could get more content out if I wasn't being so sort of elaborate. But for the last few months, with job changes and this happening, that happening, I've always been conscious that I haven't uploaded on there, and some of my subscriber numbers have been dropping, unfortunately. So I put on a short on there, but it'd be good for you to go and check it out and tell me what you think. I do love the channel, and I am definitely going to be active on that channel again. I just need to make sure that I've got a sustainable plan, which is not going to burn me out, because I work full time. I do these videos once a week, one day to film, one day to edit, and I've got a shoehorn in another channel, but I'm just trying to keep a way that I can keep active but still have time for seeing friends, seeing family, doing a few chores, all of that jazz. See, with my new job, the one that I've had for a few months now, I now work 5 days a week, but I don't work long hours. I do 9 till 5 p.m, Dolly Parton's hours. So it means when I finish on a sort of an evening, early evening, 5 p.m, I can do things like, make dinner, take the dog for a walk. We can make watch TV, do the gardening, go and see family, whatever. So in comparison, the last job that I had when I worked for Amazon, I was working 4 days a week, which sounds better, but I was working super long hours. I was starting at 8:30 in the morning, right the way through till 6:30. 8 a.m. it was, till 6:30. So it was a really long day, and I was often so tired. I just didn't really feel like doing a great deal after work. But I'm glad that I'm in that space now where I can do that. So yes, I am active again with Wookie, and I am really enjoying it, but do check it out and let me know. And again, I want to thank how great you've all been with, giving me the thumbs up, giving me the comments. I'm getting the subscribers on my ASMR channel, and I'm so grateful for that. One is going to the gym. So I started going to the gym again when I took on this new job. And to be honest, because I was no longer active in the way that I used to be, meaning it's a very desk-based job that I have now. So I have very long periods of time where I'm just sat at a desk staring at a screen. So I decided I needed to have some exercise incorporated into my routine. So I joined the gym, and I go now. I try to go 4 times a week. And what this does is it helps me just to burn off some energy, if you like, as well. Because I do get very engrossed in my work, but it's a good way just to kind of either draw a line on the day and it gets you out of your thought process and you are just in the moment. So I'm really enjoying listening to my podcasts while I'm at the gym. I listen to Uncanny, the podcast that I've mentioned in previous episodes of Storytellers Ramble. And I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's time out and time for just me to just be in the moment, and I surprisingly like it better than what I thought I would, which is amazing. But I really prefer, I'm finding that when I do the gym on a morning, it kind of leaves me quite invigorated, quite refreshed and full of energy and focus. So I think a morning session is definitely the one that I prefer. If I do a nighttime one after work, that is equally as good. Maybe I could do both, but I just do 30 minutes. I don't overdo it. I just enjoy to be in that moment, and it is so refreshing. And I'm not a natural gym person, to be honest. I do also go swimming, but I haven't been swimming for about 4 or 5 weeks now, just because of busyness, I guess. But I do want to go back swimming this week, and again, swimming is quite therapeutic. It's great exercise. I love to spend 10 minutes in the sauna. I just love this being part of my routine. Do you manage to go to the gym on a regular basis? What would you recommend I do? So I do the cross trainer and I do the tread. Just simple, burn off some calories. I don't tend to do weights yet. I haven't ventured into that field. Yeah, be good. I'm all ears. Give me some of your wisdom about keeping fit and going to the gym. That would be much appreciated. And something I do still is manifest. I do a daily practice where I will say thank you for all of the wonderful things in my life, some of the truly things that I love in my life, and I will give appreciation and thanks to all of the little things. I try to take notice of my day now. Little things, a compliment I might get, a nice email. It could even be that somebody makes me a cup of tea, something as simple as that. And it makes such a difference when you start to tune in on the positive things that are happening, because they are going on all around you. And it's really helping. But I've also created a vision board of where I want myself to be, what is the direction of travel that I'm on, mentally, physically, and spiritually, if you like. So I look at my vision board every morning and I tell myself that I have achieved everything that's on there, and I really enjoy the way that it makes me feel, because I feel a lot happier and a lot more thankful for everything that's going on around me. And of course, know what, accept them and embrace them is what I am doing. So the month of July, in retrospect, has been very, very busy indeed. And it's great though, because I'm looking forward to this week, because I'm going to have a night away in Northumberland. So happy that I'm going to get a chance to do that. So I've only got a 4-day week this week. But that takes me up to now, so it's been a month of musical creation. It's been a month of a lot of charity work. Now, one thing I didn't mention is my friend Paula, who sadly passed away, wrote a series of children's books, and it was the launch of her last book, her third and last book, and it was a very poignant event last week. So we went along to Seaburn, which is an area near where I live, and her book launch was on, but she wasn't there. So the book was finished, and the illustrator and the publishers all came together to get it out there, but sadly Paula wasn't there to kind of talk to her clients and readers. So very sad that Paula has gone. But that was the only other thing I hadn't mentioned that just happened last week. So again, giving thanks for a fantastic, amazing month, and really looking forward to hearing your comments, what you've been up to, and I will see you all again very, very, very soon. And thank you so much for joining me